Let's go read a book today.
Hello, my little friends. Thank you so much for joining me here on this episode of Let's Go Read a Book Today, where I, Miss Pamela, share some wonderful stories with you right here in my little reading garden. And oh, do I have a fun one for you today. But first, I have to ask, do you know what time it is?
It's time for Word of the Day.
Hey there, my little brilliant people. I'm Miss Vocab, that's short for Miss Vocabulary, and I have the word of the day for you, where we learn a new word that helps to grow our vocabulary and our minds. So, our word of the day is tradition. Ooh, what does that mean, you ask? Well, I'll tell you what it means. Tradition is the handing down of a family or culture's beliefs and customs from parents to children over many years. Tradition. Hey, why don't you use this word this week and talk about some of your family's traditions that have been passed down when you are talking to your parents or your grandparents or even your pet pig? Because the more you use it, you'll never lose it. See you next time on the Word of the Day. Now, let's get back to some reading. Thank you, Miss Vocab. And now, I am so excited to introduce you to our new friend today. I believe you're going to have a flying good time getting to know him and some of his friends in our story today titled Rice and Rocks, written by Sandra L. Richards and illustrated by Kayleigh Sullivan. Well, are you ready to read? I am. So sit back and open your minds because here comes story time.
I woke up feeling great. It was Sunday. No school, no itchy uniform. I could play my trumpet, read my Godzilla comics, draw another frog picture, and hang out with Jasper. What I loved most about Sundays was my whole family came to visit. Jasper is a Congo African gray parrot. He was a birthday surprise from Auntie last year. Everyone else thought Jasper was a normal parrot, but Auntie and I knew better. Jasper and I were upstairs in my room when we heard a knock at the door. Then Auntie looked into my room. "May I hang out with my favorite nephew?" Auntie asked. Auntie's two dogs, Sky and Honey, followed her in. "Auntie, what is Grandma cooking? My friends are coming over," I said. Auntie rubbed her stomach. "She's making a traditional Sunday dish for dinner, Jamaican stewed chicken with rice and beans." "Ugh," I cried. "Grandma is making rice and rocks? For my friends?" Auntie frowned. "What's wrong, Giovanni?" Jasper explained. "Rice and rocks is what Giovanni calls rice and beans. Have you ever noticed that he picks the beans out of the rice one at a time? When no one is looking, Giovanni gives Sky and Honey the beans under the table." "That explains why Sky and Honey have gas on Sundays," said Auntie. Jasper and Auntie laughed. Even the dogs grinned. "Guys, this is not funny," I shouted. "What if my friends don't like rice and rocks?" Auntie hugged me. Giovanni, having rice and beans is a family tradition tracing back to Jamaica. As a child, I loved that tradition. That is one old tradition if it has been around since you were a child, Jasper joked. Jasper, shut your beak. Remember, I can always return you to the pet store. Auntie teased. Sorry, I was just playing, Jasper apologized. I shook my head. Come on, you two, this is serious. Emily, Aaron, and Gabby will be here soon. We have to break the tradition today. Giovanni, do you know where your friends' families come from? Asked Auntie. I scratched my head. I remember Emily said her abuela or grandmother is from Puerto Rico, and Gabby bragged about her family playing in a band in New Orleans. Jasper inquired, what about Aaron? Aaron's family is from Japan, home of Godzilla, king of monsters. Auntie looked at Jasper. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Yes, time for tradition to take flight. Where are we going? I asked. That's for us to know and you to find out, announced Auntie. Grab hands, wings, and paws. Reach up, rub Jasper's beak, and close your eyes and count to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open your eyes, commanded Jasper. Auntie Sky, Honey, and I were smaller than Jasper. Let's take a ride, Jasper insisted. We hopped onto Jasper's back and flew out the window. In Japan, a friend of Jasper's greeted us. Oku is a green pheasant, Japan's national bird. Oku, do the Japanese eat rice and rocks? I asked. He means rice and beans, clarified Jasper. Oku chuckled.
Yes, the Japanese eat rice and rocks. Sekehan, red rice boiled with red atsuki beans, is a traditional Japanese dish.
My mouth fell open. Really? It's a tradition?
Sekehan is served on special occasions like birthdays and holidays. The Japanese phrase, let's have sekehan, means let's celebrate. Where are you headed next?
Jasper sang, Puerto Rico. In Puerto Rico, we met a spindalis named Idalia. We are the national bird, she said. In Spanish, we're called Reina Mora. Idalia, do Puerto Ricans eat rice and rocks? I asked. Jasper said, he means rice and beans. Sí, yes, said Idalia. We call it arroz con grandules, rice with pigeon peas. We look forward to eating it on holidays, special occasions, and Sunday dinner. My eyes widen. I love Sundays, I admitted. Idalia! A laughing voice called, Come on, you're going to miss the start of the football game. We are saving the highest tree seat for you. Idalia giggled. Okay, I'm coming. Hardly for a little cookie, you have a big sound. What is a cookie, Idalia? I asked. A little frog, Idalia answered. I draw pictures of cookies all the time, I said. Thanks, Idalia. De nada. You're welcome. Where are you off to next? Jasper replied, Nolans, otherwise known as New Orleans, Louisiana. A brown pelican, the state bird of Louisiana, met us in New Orleans. "What's up?" he said. "I'm Flint." "I'm Giovanni," I replied. "Do people here eat rice and rocks?" "He means rice and beans," Jasper explained.
Do you see Louis Armstrong Park right there?
Flint pointed with his wing.
You know who Louis Armstrong is, right?
Louis Armstrong was only the greatest trumpet player ever. I play the trumpet too.
Do you know what Louis Armstrong loved to eat?
Flint quizzed. Don't tell me he liked rice and rocks, I exclaimed. Flint chuckled.
Well, if you mean red beans and rice, you are right. In fact, he signed his letters with red beans and ricely yours, Louis Armstrong.
I was amazed. Wow, that is cool. Back at home, we rubbed Jasper's beak and counted to 5 to return to our normal size. When my friends arrived, they were hungry. We all sat down at the dining room table.
Good evening, everyone. We are having Jamaican stewed chicken with rice and beans,
announced Grandma. Rice and beans are my grandma's specialty, I said proudly. On Sundays, it's a tradition in our family to eat it. I watched my friends fill their bowls with rice and rocks. I love this, said Emily. It's just like the dish my abuela makes, arroz con grandules. I think I'd like another serving, please. I have not had red beans and rice since my last visit to New Orleans. This is really good, said Gabby, putting another spoonful in her mouth. Aaron looked confused. Are we celebrating something? We are celebrating family, friends, and traditions, I said. I grinned, glad that my friends liked rice and rocks. It's really nice to spend time with all of you. I love Sundays, and I am proud of our traditions. Rice in rocks rock.
What an exciting adventure we just had with Giovanni and Jasper and Auntie as we visited all those beautiful locations. I loved how all of Giovanni's travels helped him to realize that his family's tradition of eating rice and beans was the same as many of his friends. And in the end, he really learned to love and appreciate his own family's beautiful Sunday tradition of eating rice and rocks. Beans. You know, my little friends, there may be wonderful and sometimes unique things that your family does that may have been passed down from generations before you that makes up your family's traditions. Always be proud of your family traditions because it is a great part of what makes you the wonderful human being you are. I hope you never forget that. Oh, and now one other thing that we never want to forget are the incredible creators of this fantastic book. The author for the wonderful words that become the story that help to grow our mind, and the illustrator for all of the amazing pictures throughout the book that delight our eyes. So Sandra L. Richards and Kayleigh Sullivan, we just have one thing to say to you.
Thank you for writing this book and opening a whole new world.
Well, it seems that's all the time we have for reading together today. Oh, but don't you worry, because I'll join you here again. Yep, right here in my little reading garden on our next episode of Let's Go Read a Book Today. And I so look forward to seeing you again. So until the next time we meet, don't forget, keep reading. Bye.
I'm just happy you've joined me to read today. Oh yeah, I'm just happy you've joined me to read today.